Yeah, so today what we're going to go through is, I've been chatting with Lauren earlier, and what we're going to cover is basically on how to start new team members. I'm basically trying to starting people off strong, because sometimes we bring people into the business and they're just not ready for it yet. So it's really about having them kind of tuned into what exactly they should be doing and what they actually need to be doing in order if they want to start moving forward with their business. Also as well, we're going to go back over the storytelling. I know we touched on that a bit last time, but we're going to go back over it again, because I think that having your story down is really what's going to be the most powerful part to you building your business, because people are going to buy into you rather than buying into a product or buying into the business. They're going to want to be part of what you're doing and what you're sharing. So we're going to cover that a bit as well. Lauren, I'm just going to unmute you there, just so that we can go back and forth on it. I know. Let's go over starting new team first. Did you want to try and go through some stuff first, or do you want me to go through some stuff?
You just want to? We can just like go between each other if you want to. We can just go through those dot points that you went through. So if you want to start, and then I can add in.
Okay, cool. So really, when we're starting off new people, I know sometimes people get really excited and everything, and when you're bringing on a new team as well, that a lot of times you kind of, some people start to focus on them wanting the business for the person coming in rather than the person wanting the business for themselves, if that kind of makes sense. So like, you know what this business can do for them, you know what it can give them. And so you're really excited about it, and you're sharing this with them. You're like, right, come on, let's just get you started. This is going to be amazing for you and everything. And they're kind of getting excited, but they're still not fully understanding what they're getting themselves into. So it is really important that we kind of hold, well, it's good to share that excitement, why we're excited about it, but it's really important that we get them excited about it as well. Start to see the same vision that you're looking at. And this kind of really comes down to speaking to them about their why. So kind of working out exactly what their goals are. So like some of the conversations I have with people, it's just about asking, if you have to get into conversation to a place where they're nearly good to go, then you're going to know a little bit about them. You're going to know about what they're doing and stuff. But it's about getting them to think a year ahead into the future, or 2 or 3 years, and really getting them to visualize where they want to see themselves in the next couple of years. So maybe they want to be at a stage where they want to cut back on a day in work. Maybe they want to be able to take a holiday they haven't been able to take, or being able to pay off some bills that they've been struggling with. So it's really trying to find out that connection that they're going to have, that they can connect in with the business, and it's something that's going to drive them towards that. So then once I kind of find out what it is that they want, then it's about putting a figure on it. So I'll always say to them, okay, cool, if you said, right, you want to be able to take your family on holidays every year, that you've been struggling to do that. Cool. So I'll find out where they want to be able to take them, how long they want to go for. And then from there, just saying, right, cool. So roughly how much would that cost for taking your family away? And let's say, for example, it was $3,000 to take the family away. So, okay, cool. So if you just wanted to go on one holiday a year, then right, what we're going to do is we'll start working you towards even having an extra $500 a month coming in. So by having that figure in place and kind of painting that picture for them of what it actually looks like for them to achieve that, then they're starting to get a bit more excited, and then they're really connecting to this business. So then rather than you getting excited for them, they're getting excited about kind of getting started. And that's kind of lead into the next point then, which is basically getting them through their startup training. Lauren, do you want to touch on the startup training?
Yeah, sure. I'll just touch on something that I use as well with creating their why. I think this is probably I'm still evolving with this, and it is a skill to actually try and find out people's whys. But you would notice in our Team Falcon training that John steps through the way that he has tried to create people's whys. So I'm not sure if you've all seen that, but I'll just see if I can share this screen and just show you. Cool. Can you guys see that? Does it say extra income, financial freedom? Is that what it says, Stephen?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I speak to people, there's two ways that I do it now. I do it this way sometimes, and then I do it another way sometimes as well. And I'll explain the other way in a second. But this is one way that I actually speak to people about why they want to do the business. So I have all of these things written down in a notebook that I take out with myself when I go and meet with people. And then my question that I say to people is, I say, okay, so looking through these 9 words or statements, which one appeals to you the most? Which one is your number one priority as to why you'd want to do a business like this? And you'll get people saying a lot of different things. If I get people saying, helping others, that's probably one that people do say a lot, because they definitely do love helping people, and that's what we're all about. But that's more about helping others and not about them. So when they say about, if they say to me, oh yeah, no, I really want to help others, then straight away I just say, okay, great, that's exactly what we do with our program and with our business opportunity. But, let's think about you for a second. Let's be a little bit selfish. What could this do for you? Usually from that, I would get, most people will go into the first two, either extra income or financial freedom. So from there, that's when you're really just digging. You're just digging about why that's so important to them. So some questions that I ask from that. So if someone says, financial freedom is really important to me. Firstly, I'd want to know what financial freedom meant to them, because it means different things to different people. And then so just say they said, financially free means that I don't have to worry about my bills. I can do whatever I want whenever. And I was like, okay, great. And then I asked them, why is that important to you? And try and get them to really open up with that. And then I go into next, I go, okay, well, what happened if you didn't have that? What happened if you didn't have, the opportunity to be financially free? What would that mean, to you and your family? And then try and get them to really look at the pain factor. And I really find that when doing this, it really, really, really opens up different avenues that you can speak to about people, and just gives them an opportunity to be open with you as well. So I think that's, I love using that. I think that it really helps me when I, because a lot of people that you're just meeting them for the very first time. And so it's hard to try and say, oh, what are your goals and dreams? When you first up meet someone, they're not going to tell you their real goals and dreams, because they've just met you. They probably think that whatever they tell you is silly. But when I bring these up and I have questions, strategic questions to ask them, I really find that it opens up. So I use that one, but then I always also use the identity piece that I've talked about a couple of times. If you don't know what that is, just PM me afterwards. Because the identity piece, I find, really gives people an opportunity to open up about what their why is at a larger level. So I really love that as well. So if you want more information on that, just PM me afterwards, because I've gone through it a couple of times. I don't want to bore you again. So what Stephen was saying is, it took me a long time to understand this, to really don't start up somebody if they're not ready. Just because you want to get another person on the board and because it looks so good that you've got another team member, they're not going to go anywhere if you just do it purely for your point. So I really make sure that I've got somebody that's ready, that I've asked their why, that we've got a goal that we're going to achieve as well, because if you've got no goal to shoot for, then no one knows what they're really aiming for as well. So that's what I've got, and it's really, really important to get them at that $100 in the first 10 days. So if you've worked with them and you've had a chat to them about that they want to do this and they want to get $500 a month or whatever, it's just really important to get that first $100 in their first 10 days. And really talk to them about that. Be open and say to them, all right, well, if you're going to, this is what's on the table, we're going to get you $100 in the first 10 days. Are you going to commit to work with me to get you that $100? To say yes or no, and where you stand as well. So yeah, that's what I do. I've become really open with what we have to offer. I'm not scared anymore to just dabble around it and just hope that they do really well in their first 30 days. I'm really clear and open to our objectives and our reasoning. So, and I know that's because I've got a lot more confidence now. So really use your uplines to help you with that as well. So the startup training, like I just touched on, I always get people to commit to that the startup training. They'll do it in the first, I say 24 hours, knowing that they'll probably go to 48 hours. So the reason why it's so important to get them through that training is because of that $100 that you want them to get in the first 10 days. And because if someone gets $100 in their first 10 days, then, they're excited. They're excited, they've got money in their bank account, and then they've really paid their franchisee fee back as well. So they've got no risk or liability, they haven't put anything else into the business. So for the training, when I'm in the conversation with people before I sign them up, I'll say, okay, so we've got 9 basic training steps that we put you through. Would you have time in the next 24 hours to be able to do those 9 basic training steps? It'll take about an hour and a half in total. You can break that up however you want. You can do an hour in the morning and half an hour at night, or just do a whole hour and a half at night, whatever. But do you have enough time in the next 24 hours to be able to do that? And if they say, oh no, I'm really busy over the next 3 days, or no, I'm actually going on holidays tomorrow, like, okay, cool. All right, well, when are you back? When will you have an hour and a half in the next, and a 24-hour time space to be able to do it? And then they'll give me that answer. So that makes them accountable, and also gives you a clear indication that they can actually do it. There's no point in signing them up and then them going on a 2-week holiday. That's just wasted their time, their money, and your time as well. So that's what I find really, really helps when you're signing up people to do the business and get them onto the right training path as well. So that's what I've got for that one, Stephen. If you want to go to the next step.
Yeah, cool. So the next part really is about all right, so getting people basically committed to doing the work that's needed to get their business to grow. So we started off, we worked out their goals, we worked out their why. We're getting them to commit to their training next. And next, it's going to be about them committing to putting in the hours that's going to be required to do the business. So if someone tells you that they want an extra $1,000 a month and whatever, they worked it out, maybe they want to buy a new car or whatever, and they're saying, yeah, I'm willing to do anything to make it happen, whatever. Then it's about really getting to sit down. Okay, cool. You said you're willing to do anything to make this happen. So how many hours a day are you prepared to put in to make this happen? So it's really important that you ask that question, because it's not about you saying, right, this is what you have to do, because we're never there to tell people what to do. We can only guide people in what to do. And it's up to us then to ask them that question, to simply get them to committing to how much time and effort that they're willing to put in each day. So like if they come back to you and they say, right, I could probably do half an hour here and maybe do half an hour there, then their goals just won't be realistic to achieve that. And it's about really getting them to visualize that and actually get them to think about it, that look, if you want to actually lock in that $1,000 a month, so that'd be like $1,000 residual income. Once you get it there, it's going to continue coming in month after month. So it does require work to get there. If you're not committed to at least putting in a couple of hours a day, look, I just don't think it's going to be achievable for you to not have it within a short time frame. So if you're going to be doing it, I'll say to them, you'll need to be able to commit to doing a couple of hours. If you can get to that $1,000 within the next, we'll just say next 2 months, will you be willing to put in that 2 hours per day? So it's really getting to see the value of putting in that time and really getting them to commit to doing that time. And then from there, I'll say, right, if you're saying now that you're going to put in that 2 hours a day, so every time we catch up, are you going to be coming up with excuses that you haven't been putting in the time? Or are you actually going to really commit to this now? So you really want to get people focusing on it and really get people to commit to doing it, because at the end of the day, anytime someone new signs up, we're going to be investing a lot of time into them just as much as they're going to be investing a lot of time into their business as well. So it's about us really getting them to understand that part as well, because like I'm not there to waste my time and I'm not there to waste their time either. If they're willing to work and they really want to go for it, then I'm there willing to help them every step of the way with it. But they need to have that commitment straight up to what they actually want to do with the business to get them to move forward. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything you want to add on to that, Lauren?
I guess what I do as well on top of that is I really, if I don't know them that well, I really try and find out their day, what they do during the week. So then because it's really hard for people when they first start to actually think they've got time for this, where we know we're actually really good at making time up. So I really try and find out their timetable. So a lot of people are very, basic. They work, 9 to 5, and then they put their mothers or fathers, they've got family, they put the kids to bed and they've got time after work. So I just really try and speak to them about, okay, so what do you normally do during the week? So on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, if they're shift workers, then I really try and tell them to tell me what a week would look like to them. And then I try and think of, knowing in my head where I can fit time for them for this business as well, because that's the biggest thing is that I find people just think, I don't have time, to do this, where we know that we can probably, slide 20 minutes in here when they're on a lunch break or when they're driving to work. We can add in some personal development. So I just find it really handy to try and know what they do during the day, so I can think of times that they can fit it in their head as well. And exactly what Stephen was saying, how much time do they want to put in it per day or week, and really just meeting them at where they're at, because that's all they're going to do. If you try and tell them that, they've got, they can fit in 20 hours a week when they've only got 10, then, it's just not going to work and they're going to feel overwhelmed, and they're just not going to do the work anyway. So, that's the only thing that I would add, is that I just really try and find out what they do, because I know that there's probably different ways that they can fit in the business that they probably haven't thought of as well.
Cool. And something to remember as well is that this business is done while you're out and about doing your everyday stuff anyway. As well. So it isn't just about rather than committing 2 hours a day that you actually need to lock in 2 hours a day, because a lot of that stuff as well can be done while you're out and about and while you're actually doing, you could be at the gym, you could be at work, whatever it is, you can be chatting to people. And the next kind of point then I get across with people when I'm speaking to them is, this is only something just new I've started with, but I'll ask them straight up. I'll say, okay, I'll say, okay, you're pretty excited about getting started now, yeah? And you really want to try and get this moving. I'll say, who do you know that would be interested, that you believe would be interested in improving their health, losing weight, want to increase their energy levels? Say, who do you know, who can you think of right now that would want that? So I'll actually get them to commit to writing down a couple of names right there and then. The goal is to try and aim to get them to write down 21 names. Because if they're serious about the business, that gives them 3 people a day to speak to over their first week. So then once I get them to write down a couple of names of that, then I say, okay, cool. Who do you know that is interested in health, that would like to help some people and that would like to create an additional income? I'll say, I'll say, okay, can you write down a couple of names? So I get a few more names down. Then I'll say to them, okay, do you know any single mothers out there? Do you know any people that have big families? Do you know any people that may be wanting to buy a new car? So really trying to get people to start thinking about others, and really trying to get them focused on getting to that list of 21 names down. So, of course, not everybody's going to get to 21 names, and of course, not everybody's going to get through the 21 names in the first week. But it kind of sets you up as well to see how driven this person is, and really kind of shows you if this person is going to be good at the business or not. Because if you have someone and straight away they come up with 21 names and they're just really excited to actually get out and share with all those people. Because once they have those names on that list, then if we go, okay, cool, and we can just say, right, we're going to be doing one of these Zoom events, or we're going to lock in an event at their place or whatever. And I'm going to say, right, our goal for the week is that you can approach those 21 people and we'll get them locked in for coming to the event. So that way it's like a launch event for them. They're going to be inviting those people, and it's just going to be a way then that it's going to, like Lauren said, get them their $100 bonus. So it's going to get them to the position of direct. And as well, by getting a good few people, it's going to be setting them up for senior direct. So that kind of brings it on into the next part then, and it's really getting people to understand the importance of senior direct. Because one, senior direct teaches you two things. One is that you now know that you can get some customers, because even to get to direct, you need a couple of customers. Getting to senior direct, you need even more customers. So using the DCN is basically 2 to 3 customers to direct. And then to senior direct, it's roughly around 8 to 10 customers. So by getting it to people to senior direct, you know now that they can share with people about the program, and they can follow up, and they can get some customers on. But it also shows that they can share with people about the business, because you can't get to senior direct unless you have a team member in place. So once they've done that, our whole business is done by duplicating exactly what they've just done there over and over. Like, it doesn't really get any more complicated than that. So once they've understood that, in order to get to senior direct, you basically need 1 team member and 10 customers between you. That's all they do, is they duplicate that over. So every time they bring on a new team, all they're doing is simply sharing that with them. And then, of course, as well, it gives them the $100 bonus for hitting direct. And then they get, if they're going to be doing it quick, they'll get a $300 bonus for hitting senior direct. So that they'll literally get their 2 promotions within the first month, plus $400 in bonuses as well by picking up the 2 bonuses. Did you want to add something in there, Lauren?
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'd add, when I start talking about senior direct, I'm a real visual person. So I like to get on a Zoom call like this, or when I'm face to face, and just draw it out to people. The biggest thing that you get when people are first starting, I find, is that, they don't, the clients are easy for them. It's just about the team aspect. So I really, really make it a high importance to telling the people that it's not up to them to talk to people about the business. It's up to your upline to do that for you. So I just find that when I really explain that, and I just say, it's not up to you to speak to them about it. All I'm wanting you to do is open up the opportunity. I find that the pressure is taken off people for that. So, that's probably the only thing, is that I just really like to make it visual for people, and especially just make sure they know that it's up to their uplines to start talking to people about the business as well. That takes the pressure off too. I think that, that's all. Yeah, that's probably all extra that I would add on to that.
And it's a good place as well to start talking to people about leverage, about how our business is all done by leverage, that it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And the way I always explain that to people is if I opened up, say, a personal training studio, and I get people to kind of visualize that. If I open up a personal training studio and if I'm doing 30 sessions a week, if I want to leverage my business and build the overall volume coming through my business, there's a couple of things I could do. I could start charging more per session. I could start working more hours, or else I could bring in, say, 3 other trainers to work within my business. I'll coach them, I'll mentor them, and I'll help them to build up their clientele. So then, if each of those 3 guys have 30 sessions each week then as well, my business has gone from doing 30 sessions up to 120 sessions. So I just kind of say to get people to actually visualize that as well as that. So what I'm doing there is I'm not actually working harder, I'm working smarter. So I'm leveraging my business by bringing in other people. I'll say to them, that's exactly what we do within our business as well. So the cool thing about getting to senior direct is by you getting that 400 or that 4,000 volume, which is basically roughly around 10 DCN customers, it's not just from you alone, it's within your business. So if you just did the same thing as if I did in a personal training studio, you find 3 people to work with you, and automatically when you bring somebody in, they're going to want to hit that first position of direct. So that's going to bring in 3 customers. And if you have your 3 customers and each of those guys have your 3 customers, that means there's 12 customers in your business, and all you needed was 10 to hit the senior direct position. So that's just another way of just kind of showing them what leverage looks like. And then, of course, when you have the 3 people in place, all you're going to do is duplicate what you did with each of those 3 people, and that's going to bring you to sales coordinator. So yeah, that's what I kind of meant by all we need to do is replicate senior direct over and over. So yeah, it's just kind of getting people to visualize that part as well. So then the last kind of part is, so like after we've gotten the committing to putting in the time and working out how many hours a day they're actually going to work towards, then it's about getting them to committing to attending like the weekly training calls that we're doing, and also the online events, because the online events are simply there to help them and help you build up your business, and it's also there to train you as well. So every time you're tuning into one of these training calls or tuning into one of the events, you're hearing people's different stories. It's starting to build your belief a bit more within the product, a bit more within the business, but you're also learning how to actually share the product and share the business as well on top of that. Because you're going to hear different people sharing it in different ways, and you're always going to pick up something new every time you hear it. So that's kind of the key to the events as well. So like, even if you don't have somebody with you or don't have anybody tuning in, it is still really important that you do tune in, because you're always going to be learning something new from it. You want to share there, Lauren?
No, I think you've just said it all there. But just remember, guys, I know this is all in our Team JP uni as well. So if you ever think, oh, that's just too much to remember, it's all written out there, how we should be discussing it. So what I used to do is I used to read, especially this part, how to start up a new team member, because this is crucial. Because, so I always would just like read it a couple of times a week, just so I would learn more about it as well, because it's really, really important to make sure that your new team member is started up correctly and you've driven the why, because that's the most important thing. People don't join you on what you've actually said, like the factual information, but how you've made them feel. So if you've made them feel that it's about them, then they're going to be more committed to believing in what you're saying and do what you say as well. So it's just really, really important that you have connected to their why. So have a read of it through JP Uni if you haven't already.
And also as well, don't be afraid to connect with your upline to help you with your new people. So say, for example, if you're posting up their training and then for some reason you can't be online for the next couple of days or whatever, don't just leave your new person sitting there. Make sure you contact your upline and say, look, can you help me out there with the training? I'm not going to be able to get online, or whatever it may be. Because like for anybody, anybody in my business, I treat everybody as if they're my frontline. And I think that's the way everybody should be treating everybody anyway. So never feel like, oh, if you can't do anything around at that you always connect with somebody in your upline, because everybody's out anyway. And I think that's kind of, it's very kind of basic points in getting people started and getting people really connected to really wanting to build this, but it's just about really kind of reading back over it and just kind of reading it yourself and just learning those points over, because once you kind of learn them off, then it gets so much easier. So you have to remember that in this business as well, you're constantly learning all the time. So like, even though I've been in the business for a few years, I'm still constantly learning all the time. I'm still picking up new stuff. So it is a never-ending learning journey. And as you go along, it does start to get easier as well. So it is pretty cool that way.
I might just add something there, Stephen, as well. Also, really utilize each other as well, especially when you're trying to, I know when I first started out, trying to speak about someone for their why reasons, I didn't find it difficult. I just didn't know how to do it well. And I'm still getting better and better at it each time. But something that I've found really beneficial is using other people in the business that can really help you or relate to that person. So, for example, I can't really speak to guys that are in fitness with abs because I'm not a guy. I've got no abs. So they don't relate to me. So that's why, I would go and speak to someone else. I've asked Stephen a couple of times to help us with our. So if you guys have people that, you don't think relate to you that well, get someone else on board that can help you, because that's helped me a lot of times to actually get other people to open up to the opportunity as well. So really think about that if you need some help as well, to get people to open up to their whys as well.
Yeah, definitely agree with that one. I even had contacts back in Ireland, even though I was over here, and I basically went onto the Juice Plus page in Ireland, and I found some of the leaders over there, and I connected with them, and they ended up making a couple of phone calls from me over there. Even though that nothing got to do with our team whatsoever, never even met the guys in my life or even spoken to them. I just kind of built that bit of rapport with them, and they're happy to help me out no matter what. And now I've actually done a few calls for them over here with some of their contacts. So it is all about pulling together and helping each other out. So I never feel that, oh, I'm not sure if I can connect with this person, because you'll always find someone that can connect with someone, because everybody has different backgrounds and everybody has different stories to share. So there's always going to be someone there that you can find to actually help you out with any contacts that you do have. So that part is pretty cool. So I think we might leave off the going through the stories to story stuff to next time. What do you think, Lauren?
Yeah, that's cool. All right.
We've been on here a while anyway. But yeah, so did you have anything else you want to add at all?
No, not really. I think that's like I just said before, just make sure, it is a really important step and skill to learn. So just read that JP Uni. If you don't know where it is, just let us know and we can let you know. Just read it a few times a week, just until you really understand how to do it. Because it's a really important step for you to do, but then also for your team to duplicate down the line as well. So, that's really all I have to say.
Awesome. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up, so we'll have to get a photo.
Yeah, we need to get a photo. Oh, do we want to go through our recognition for this week?
Yep. So do you have somebody?
Cool. So, Steve and I just thought it would be good just to recognise people that have made promotions during the week, or club levels or something that they've done that's outside of the box that's been really good. So the people that I had actually a couple of examples, but they're not on the call, so I might do that next week. But just wanted to say we've had a few promotions this week for Team Fierce. We had Tammy, who reached Senior Direct in her first 30 days, so she'll be getting a $300 bonus. Kath got DVF, and Emmy Lee got DVF as well. So none of them are actually on the phone call at the moment, so can't cheer for them. But yeah, that was our last week's promotion. So that was really good. And we've got a few big ones this week as well, hopefully. So we'll be able to share them next week.
Awesome. We had 2 promotions as well in Ronan's team, but they're not on the call either. I thought they were going to be on the call. So I'll wait.
Yeah.
But we do have a promotion going through tomorrow, and that's for Vanessa. That's sitting there.
Woohoo!
Yeah, no, Vanessa got she just hit direct, so she got her first in the last couple of days. So that's exciting.
Good work.
So first step. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
But so lots of exciting stuff for everyone.
Yeah, does anyone have anything, I guess what I was wanting to share was like, has anyone had an opportunity in the last week where they've brought up our business or products to somebody face to face that they want to share? If it was a yes or a no, it doesn't matter. But did anyone step out of their comfort zone this week that they want to share, or is no one going to share?
Lindsay, did you?
I knew you were going to point to me then, you cheeky monkey. Just to be warned as well, Stephen takes the most horrendous pictures. I was late for my Zoom call on Wednesday morning. Horrendous picture, no makeup, no hair done. So that's why I'm in the shade today, so you can't really see me. So my challenge was, it set me a challenge to actually go into 5 shops. And I'm really, really sorry I didn't do the 5 shops. However, what I did do, I was hosting a ladies' event with naked waiters to raise money for our local school. And I was just literally on fire. Even though I was drinking, I was on fire that night. I was talking to people, getting them outside, having a chat so they could hear me properly, taking down information, and following up. So I'm immensely proud of what I did because I got really out of my comfort zone. And I'll even show you the photograph at some stage of the naked waiter where I literally got him in the corner of this restaurant and said, "You're having DCN. You need to..." Yeah. The poor man was petrified. So I have to dig out the pictures somewhere from our promotional photos that we had taken on the night. It was brilliant. So thank you, Stephen, for pestering me and mentoring me on my Wednesday mornings because it's really, really working. So use your up lines, use your side lines, above lines, use them. So thank you.
Yay! Awesome.
Good work.
I'm placing an order right now as we're speaking, so hey.
Awesome. So,
go girl.
What I've been finding, and what's really a good place to get prospects is using Ubers. Anybody use Uber?
What's that?
Do you know, like
No.
Uber? Do you have them up in Darwin?
What's that?
You've not heard of Uber, no? It's like
No.
like a taxi, except it's just normal people driving normal cars. So there's an app called Uber, and you basically order the car through the app, and you pay through the app. So then a car comes along and picks you up. But it's just normal people trying to make some extra money. So I got one last night, and I jumped into the car, and there was a guy, and he was driving a Range Rover. So it was a pretty nice car. And it turns out that he owns a restaurant in the city. So I was asking why is he doing this then? He said that I said, is the restaurant not doing too well? And he was saying, like, no, the restaurant's doing good, but the thing is the cost of rent is going up and the cost of wages is going up. So he's still making the same money, but the cost of everything is going up, so his income is coming down. So then I was just saying, so is this why you're doing this? So to try and make a bit of extra income? And he said, yeah, I just want to try and make a bit of extra income on the side. So I said, are you open to looking at different opportunities and different ways of making money? And he was like, yeah. And then turned around to me and goes, well, have you got some opportunity for me? And I said, I do actually. So I just started chatting away to him. I said, ask him, does he been interested in health and helping people and stuff? And he said, yeah, he's always open to try new things and look at different ways of creating extra income. So I was just kind of chatting away to him about what we do, and then basically going and sharing about the Juice Plus product, and kind of referring back to his restaurant, saying, like, and obviously in your business, you got to buy a lot of products, and you got to pay your staff, and then you got to make all the products or make all the meals, and then you're trying to get some customers in the door, and if they don't get in, you're still costing you money and all that kind of stuff. And I was saying, like, with our business, it basically costs us nothing. So we've got no risk involved. We don't even buy products. We don't touch any money. All we simply do is we help people improve their health. So as I was just saying to him, like, if we wanted to do the program, all I'd simply do, I'd open up my phone, put in your details, company would ship the product out to you, the company would bill you, and then we get paid every month. I said, the earnings is unbelievable what you can achieve from it. And I just said, look, I'd love to catch up with you next week to have a coffee, sit down and go through the figures with you. I said, it may or may not be for you. but at least you'll have a bit of an understanding about what we do, and you'll be able to keep an eye out for other opportunities. So then when we were driving on the car, and he was like, he was a Chinese guy, and he was like, oh my God, all my friends are taking supplements all the time, and I'm always actually buying supplements here in Australia and shipping them over to China for people over there. I was, but I don't make any money from it. He's like, I've got so many contacts, they're always trying these different health stuff. And he goes, and by the end of it, he was really, really excited. And he was like, oh my God, I can actually think of so many people now that I could get people on this. So yeah, I sent him an email today with info on the product and program, and I'm going to catch up with him then this week for a chat about the business. So it's just about, just chatting to anybody, and just really about finding out about them first, and then finding out a need for them to want to find out about the business, and then leading in with the business. So, yeah.
Perfect work.
So
it's really good.
Yeah, so it's been pretty good. So every time I use an Uber, I always have a chat to them about it. Because when those people that drive the Ubers, they're there to make extra money. So it's just about finding why they want to make that extra money. So, right, let's have our photo.
Okay.
Lindsay, smile.
You're going to say 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Are we all beautiful?
Marvelous. Fantastic. Cool.
Alrighty.
Everybody have a good evening. Guys in the UK.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Catch you soon.
Good night. Okay.
Bye. Bye.
See you Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.